I am here at the sanctuary and I'm walking out to the hayfield. I just got off the phone with Mr. Ed and says, Bud, better come on over. We don't want to end up losing this hay. But the problem now is that we have rain back in the forecast for next week. And what we don't want to have happen to this pasture is the same thing happened to the pasture there at the JL. You see, hay gets to a certain point of maturity, and that's time to cut it then. And my worry now, and you all can see what I'm seeing, the top of this stuff here is turning brown. And that's not good. The Mr. Ed has so many jobs in front of him. But I'll tell you what, this is some really amazing grass, but we need to get this stuff cut and soon. So he says he'll finish up what he's doing now and he'll make his way over here first chance he gets. And I said, Ed, if I need to call somebody else, I will. I just don't want to lose this hay. Y'all can see for yourselves. I know you can't see me, but it's up to my waist, y'all. This hay, this grass is up to my waist. And this is all the way from the front, all the way down past back behind Joanne's house, and all the way back down into the far back pastures. There's a lot of good hay here. But if we wait too long, we're gonna lose it. And that now I've added a little bit of pressure to my plate. I haven't been over here I haven't been here since last week. It's been last Sunday. Today is my Thursday. And I'll tell you what, I feel like this stuff has matured and starting to turn just in the course of one dry week. So that's kind of scaring me. But we'll see. Mr. Ed will get to it as fast as he can. And but I'll tell you what, we waited too long in that JL hay. And it's done, well, you already know. Anywho's, good morning, folks. Lester here. Well, good afternoon now. It's past noon here where I'm at. So good afternoon. Hoping you all have a wonderful morning and everything's off to a beautiful start for you. If you're in Florida, our prayers go out to you guys. We've watched the news. We know what kind of flooding you're going through. And that's just so heartbreaking to see such a beautiful state underwater, especially down there towards the south, Miami area, where everything is just always just so gorgeous, and Pensacola and everything else. Parking lots are just, it looks really bad. Now, we've all experienced different things in Mother Nature, so we all know that you'll get through this, Florida, but I know how hard it is. And then, of course, for all of you guys who are feeling the extreme temperatures, and that's across the entire country, even other countries in the world, we feel horrible for you guys as well. Hoping that you have a nice place to cool off and that you can find comfort from the heat. We're not going to jump right into the interrogation part of the live. If you wouldn't mind, allow me a chance to talk and just kind of catch my breath. I was noticing how dirty my elbows are. Looky here. How many of y'all remember those when y'all used to come in from outdoors and that's how you would look? So I went down. I've been mowing this morning. I mowed, and sometimes when you mow, all the dust just covers you, and you would come in with beads under your neck and all, and in every crevice and every crease of your body. And that's how I feel right now. For those who are noticing, yes, I am wearing my Arms Family shirt today. What that means, well, let me ask you all. I only wear this shirt when ... Why would I be wearing this shirt today? Who thinks they can answer that question? Why would I be wearing my Arms Family Homestead shirt today? Anyone think they might know? I'll have to wait a second till the videos catch up and y'all have a chance to start throwing some stuff in there. Why would I be wearing? No, this is not a launch day. I don't work for Arms Family Homestead. I was gifted a couple of their merch shirts, but why do I? Y'all have no idea why. You have no idea why I wear my Arms Family shirt on certain days. I am not promoting other channels. That's, they're friends of ours, and I know nothing about their merch lines and when they do this and that. The reason I'm wearing my Arms Family shirt, and if you don't know this, I'm let down, it's because, oh, thank you. God, you know what? Y'all sometimes can get jealous of people, but there's a reason that we sometimes will showcase and highlight people more than others because they are super, super in tune to what's going on with everybody. So Vanessa jumps in there. No, Joy. Well, Joy, I make everybody mad, but I'm gonna have to go with Vanessa here. She says you might make people mad today, Vanessa. I will anger a lot of people. That's why I represent my Arms Family T-shirt. So anyone who doesn't know who I am, they might assume this is who they can gear all of their anger to. Yeah, I love this shirt, but I can only wear it on the days when I'm going to make somebody mad. And Vanessa, and for everyone else, I can promise you before this day's over, Lester will make a lot of people upset. A lot of people will be upset with me before this day's over. And that is what it is. I'm not going to go into all the details of that, but thank you, Vanessa, for paying such close attention, being in tune with what's going on with everything. um, I did not know that today was Donald Trump's birthday. Is that true, or is someone just saying that? Let me check it out real fast. Let me just check it out real fast. I'm curious. Cancel that. Open this. Trying to find how to go. Let's find out. When is President Trump's birthday? Well, June 14th, 1946. He was born in Queens, New York City. He was the fourth child to his family. This actually will tell you every president's birthday. So President Biden was November the 20th. President Obama was August the 4th. It goes, well, it even tells me other people who are not presidents. Vladimir Putin was October the 7th. It goes through this. I had no idea. It goes through, if you type in that, it tells you everyone's birthday. So happy birthday to our former president. And now I'm feeling like a total ass. Is today also Flag Day? Oh my goodness, guys. I'll tell you what, my day has been something. A lot of people are saying today's Flag Day. When is Flag Day? I Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, you're right. Happy Flag Day to you all. Happy Flag Day. Happy Flag Day, friends. And then we're so blessed to be coming to you live today. I did not know that today was Flag Day or the president's birthday. So let me go ahead and remove Vanessa's comment. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Um, if I had known it was Flag Day, I would have been better represented, my friends. From what I hear, though, they don't like it when people put flags around them. They find that to be disrespectful. I didn't know that, and I tried that one time, and everyone got on me. So I learned, well, you live and you learn. Oh my goodness gracious! It's also the U.S. Army's 249th birthday. I had no idea today was such a momentous day for so many things going on, friends. I had no idea. So we have a president's birthday, the U.S. Army's birthday, it's Flag Day, and I'm guessing it's probably some of y'all's birthdays as well. So congratulations to all of you, and happy birthday, and happy Flag Day, and happy birthday to the U.S. Army. Talking about the Army and see the stuff this week with D-Day and the celebration, not the celebration, the memorial, the anniversary and all that, just reminded us of how brave those soldiers had to be, those from the Army and the other branches of the military who stormed those beaches back, I think it was 80 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And that's just amazing. Yes, I am outside today on a very warm day. Thank you for worrying. I've already got up. You know, guys, I've told you before, I've already got up and I do my chores in the morning. Earlier, the better. And that way, by noon or so, I can kind of take it easier until the late afternoon. What we do is water down our babies. We go out and we put the sprinklers on, and we do certain things that keep the babies nice and cool, even though we are absolutely trying not to be working during the heat of the day. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but if you can, I'll tell you what, you'd be wise to get out. Hi to hello there, Carla. Hi to hello. Hi to hello. Hi to hello. Thank you. I forgot about that. That's going to have to be something you're going to have to remind me of. And no, I have not been dancing this morning in the sprinklers. I had some fun with that video, and I know that poor group who sings that. I don't know this for a fact, but I think that Simon and Garfunkel did the song first. I don't know when, back in the 60s or whenever they were around. I don't know. I wasn't born then. And then I think that a group named Disturb has redone that recently, and I really, really like their version of that. So what I did out in the sprinklers was kind of took a mix of both. I tried to sing and dance. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And you know that when you see videos like that, there may be a serious topic behind it, but sometimes you just can't focus on all the negativity. You just have to sometimes laugh and smile and play and make lemonade, y'all. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade, as they say. And that was a lot of fun. So I really liked it. A lot of people say they really love the Disturbed version of that song, and I do too. But yes, Simon and Garfunkel were the originals, everyone's telling me. Thank you for all of you who are around to know that. The only thing I had to cut out of my sprinkler video was the jump roping. I did do a jump rope. I took that sprinkler on the sprinkle end, and then I put a lot of slack, and I was absolutely jump roping and sprinkling at the same time. But I had too much shame. Even I was so embarrassed of how I looked to include that in there. I know what you're probably thinking, Lester. I saw you do. You're sitting there thrusting your hips. You're sitting there swinging it around. You're doing all kinds of. How could you be embarrassed of anything? Trust me, I looked horrible trying to jump rope. So I did not include that part in my video. So when I first started my live, I'm going to jump straight over to the sanctuary and talk about this over here.
I'm here at the sanctuary.
I'm not going to play it again, but I will remind you all, if you did not catch this very beginning, I'm a little bit worried. And I feel like that's the way life goes sometimes, y'all. You just get over to a good place, and then something else happens, and something else happens, and something else happens. But you can see how amazing this hay looks over at the sanctuary. But I'm not going to lie. I'm very concerned that Mr. Ed's not going to get to it in time. I can't put a lot of pressure on Mr. Ed because everyone knows that Mr. Ed is battling cancer. And so I know he has his good days and his bad days. So I'm not going to ever say, hey, you need to get up and get going, Mr. Ed, and you need to tell that cancer to hush up and get to work. No, absolutely not. But we're blessed to have Ed, and I just don't want to lose that hay. That hay over there is too good of hay. It's going to be a very amazing crop, but Mr. Ed does have other things going on in his life, and so I'm kind of torn. I'm like, the longer we wait, the hay's already starting to kind of slowly brown off, and then we have issues coming up next week. We may get more rain, 3 or 4 days of rain, and you can't cut hay in the wet. If those pastures get saturated, then you can't drive across them for another week or two until they dry. And if we end up going through another rainy cycle of, multiple days of rain, inches of rain, then we're 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 kind of in a bad position. And so that's the kind of stuff that I have to think about and worry about. That's not, I don't want to make my problems become your problems. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I am concerned. I didn't realize how the hay was starting to brown until I drove over yesterday. And I was like, oh no, I could see it from when I pulled up the driveway. My typical joyful self was not there when I saw the tops of that hay had already begun to brown. And that was the problem at the JL. When we contacted Mr. Ed the first time, it was a beautiful green. I mean, it was green and tall. It was up to your waist. Ed drove over and he said how amazing it looked. And he said he would get right to it. And then it started to rain, and it rained for almost a month. You all know about this. And so flies are everywhere. And so once it began to rain, Mr. Ed couldn't cut. And then during that month, it all ended up turning brown. Now, Mr. Ed said he would still cut it and he would take it. He would still use it for stuff. And so he did that, saved me a lot of money, but I did lose the 25 rolls of hay. And everyone knows that now we really need our hay crop more now than ever with all of the animals we have to feed this winter. So I don't come to answer questions about other channels. Um, I don't guess people understand that, friends. We don't. It's really not my place to talk about any other channel. Everyone needs to have the ability to keep their content to themselves. So if you're asking me about other creators on Morrow Hill or other creators who we may have contact with, friends of ours in social media, about questions about their animals or their farms or that's not my place to talk about. You will have to go to the source to talk about that. And thank you for everyone who's saying, yeah, yeah. And then last thing I'll say is you don't normally go to someone's live just to promote people to go watch other people's channels, even if they are live right now. You're more than welcome to go watch any live you want to. I just don't understand why you would try to get people to leave mine and go elsewhere. So everyone obviously knows at this point that we have a situation with 3 beautiful mini MINI donkeys over at the JL Ranch property. These donkeys have been, they were cute at first. Everything was cute whenever we had the cows over there and the donkeys would walk along the fence lines and kind of holler and yell at us. And we got to, make their acquaintance. They didn't become a problem until we took our horses over. And so you have 3 uncut male donkeys who are very mature in age. Fine, we can call them the 3 Stooges if y'all want to. I don't care. And so they are 3 naughty donkeys, that's for sure. But the problem is when we brought the horses over, they began to make their way through the fencing. And remember, when we built our fencing, we didn't build fences to keep little tiny donkeys in or out. We built fences to keep our cows in and keep other cows out. That was our main goal, is having Tex and Waylon over there and knowing that there might be other cows in the vicinity, but not letting our bulls get out and about to those. So we built very strong fences, heavy duty fences for cows. However, a barbed wire fence that may work great for cows does not do a whole lot to stop 3 little horny donkeys. And they stand about 2 foot tall. And so they've been able to go through and go around and push through all of our fencing. They've pretty much destroyed most of the fencing between the horse and the donkey pasture. So we've had to go by and adjust by doing a different type of fencing to that one stretch. And we thought that would hopefully keep them out, only to find out that they've been going all the way down around the property to the highway and now trying to come up the backside. which is putting the donkeys right there on the feeder of the highway. And that's a very fast moving interstate, friends. That's a 75 mile per hour, which means that most folks are driving through there at least 80 or 85, lots of big trucks. And I would feel horrible if something bad happened to any of those donkeys. But another concern is that where those donkeys hang out, our horses have been congregating. Our male horses hang out over there because they are jealous. Our females hang out because they're intact males and they're interested. I'm keep blowing at the flies that are landing either on my face, on my shirt, or on my computer. It's not a tick. I don't have a tick. Even though I probably do. I've been accused of that, but I don't think I do. That's not why I'm blowing randomly. I guess the first thing that I will answer is that on Friday, today's Friday, on Thursday, I don't know what day, guys. I don't know which day is which, but on one day when I was over feeding the cows and I saw the donkeys down at the road, I went down to try to run them back over to where they came from. I was unable to do that. Instead, they were so insistent on being up close to our horses that I went ahead and ran them up our driveway just to get them off the main road. I did call the police, who put me through to animal control. Animal control is insistent on trying to find the proper owner of those mini donkeys. As of right now, I don't know who the donkeys belong to, but I did tell the officer that I would keep them off the highway and keep them in my lot, the cattle lot and the loading chute. So they will, number one, they'll be safe they'll keep themselves out of harm's way. They'll also not be able to get into the pasture with our horses and keep our horses safe. And then hopefully they can find an owner. And if not, we'll have to figure out where to go from there. We have a plan, I believe, that we're working on what we're going to have to do, because they cannot stay in that lot forever. There's no grass in the lot. We are giving them hay. We're giving them grain. We're giving them clean, fresh water, and they do have a shelter. As of right now, they've been in there for a couple of days. They're doing fine, and they want to be out and about. They are eat up with worms as far as their health goes. That's the saddest thing. A lot of people were commenting on how healthy they look. And unfortunately, what you mistake as good health is actually a belly full of worms. The worms have gotten inside of them so bad and eaten them away that it's just all bloating and lots of worms. So they absolutely need medical attention. And then I think that the number one thing that people are very confused about, and I don't mean to say that you don't know what you're talking about, but you don't understand what you're saying sometimes, is a lot of people are insistent that we go have those donkeys neutered, castrated, and all of our problems will be solved. Well, number one, those are not our donkeys. No one knows exactly where they came from. There's rumors all over the place of who they may belong to, where they may have come from, but as of right now, no one really knows. And then number two, the donkeys are already mature. Friends, I don't know if you understand this farm concept, but I would like you to take some time, when you have time, and look up something called proud cut. Proud cut, Proud. You see, if you're going to get an animal, a male animal, castrated or neutered, you have to do that at a certain age before they learn. Because even though you may be able to go by there and castrate and neuter to make it to where they can no longer breed, well, they'll still breed. Trust me, they'll still bang. I can say bang, but they're proud cut, which means they'll still bang. They may not be able to impregnate the donkeys, but they will still do they already have all of the behaviors of a male donkey. It could be a stallion who's got cut too late in life. He might not be able to produce children, but he's still going to have the temperament of a stallion. And that means a lot of biting, a lot of kicking, lots and lots of bad learned behavior. So a lot of that is instinctual behavior. And so you could get them gelded, which means cut, obviously, but that's not going to change their demeanor as far as their biting and them being mean to each other and even being mean to other animals they're with. So I wish it were as easy as a lot of people think it is. The matter of fact statements coming off the internet in general is, get them cut, Lester, duh. Get them fixed, duh. All your problems are solved. No, all the problems are not solved. They are already going to be proud cut. So they may not be able to impregnate anybody, but they're still going to tear up fences. They're still going to bite each other. They're still going to continue to have intercourse with each other. So it's a interesting phenomenon. It's sad at the same time. I think the saddest thing in all of this is that any owner would put so many males out in the same pasture, no matter what the reasoning behind it, and not think about that. And so maybe before we moved the horses, it wasn't something that we even thought much about. They didn't have a reason to walk over and hang out. We saw the donkeys many times out with our longhorns. We knew that they were over there hanging out, probably eating on our feed buggy with our longhorns. We knew they were enjoying some of the green grass from the pastures, some of the ryegrass from the winter, along with all the deer. So we know we have a major issue on our hands, and this issue is a lot bigger than most people realize. So that happens a lot whenever you have to deal with issues larger than you. It's very easy to throw out what you should do. It makes you feel better to tell everyone what you should do. Everyone gets a thrill out of seeing 3 or 4 people put a like to their comment. But in reality, I understand that if you don't live this lifestyle, then you probably have no idea what proud cut even means. But here's an example. Maybe your husband, your partner, has gone by to have a procedure done. So let's just say that your husband has gotten to an age where he went by to have a procedure done. So your husband can no longer impregnate, but don't think for a minute that your husband has now become a little man who sits there with his hands in his lap and doesn't have the same thoughts and desires of a man who hasn't had that procedure done. I'm Daniel Arms at the Arms Family Homestead. If you have any complaints, I'm the guy to address. Here we go. Vanessa. Hashtag be a Vanessa. There's no quick solution. All decisions have to be done in a thoughtful manner once you guys are doing, and you're considering the safety risk to your current animals as well. I don't envy you. Vanessa, I feel like I sometimes pick on you by posting so many of your comments, but you really do have a beautiful way of explaining things. I'm wondering if Vanessa would like to be the official spokesperson. You know how sometimes the police force will have the spokesperson, the only one allowed to say what's on their mind because they have a way of saying things? It's kind of like the presidents have a spokesperson, someone who's been very well versed in how to say it, to be effective speaker and not get anyone in too much trouble. Even as a school teacher, they always taught us, if something happens in your classroom, an incident, and you get approached by the press or by someone, a parent, do not say anything. You refer them to the district spokesperson, the PR person, or as Fred says, the BS artist. Absolutely. So we we do have major decisions that we have to think about with these little donkeys. We're torn between who we are as individuals and our love for animals, along with we have a desire to keep the animals we have now safe. The fencing that we've invested so much time and money in, keep it intact. And of course, we want to do the right thing. If these donkeys do in fact belong to somebody, it would be, well, it probably illegal for us to just round them up and take them off to get them fixed or whatever. We have had some people reach out from other states or from hours and hours away. And like I've tried to explain to people, I think it would be just as inhumane to load up 3 donkeys in triple digit temperatures and try to haul them across the state. And then let's not forget that if we don't vet where these donkeys are going, then don't think for a moment that someone won't come by and pick up a couple of mini donkeys just to turn right around and take those off to the auction to make themselves several $100s with little or no regard to what happens to the donkeys. So we're trying, my friends. But despite the fact of what so many people think, we are trying, and we will figure something out. And what we decide to do will make some of you very happy, and some will be very upset. And that's the way life is. There's no way to appease everybody with as many opinions as what we're going to have on a page as large as ours. There's always going to be somebody mad. And so what we ask is that you just, for a moment, try to put yourself into someone else's shoes. In this case, the shoes of a couple who are very I don't want to say overworked, but who have taken on quite a bit more than what they can easily chew, who are trying to manage and run and operate, the property successfully and continue to find the same success as we have in the past. Donkeys can spread worms, but all animals can spread worms. But our donkeys and horses have already been dewormed. Our cows have been dewormed. So it's like when we bring in a stray dog that we've picked up, even though that dog could have infectious diseases, as long as our dogs, who they're coming to spend a little bit of time around until we get our vet visit, have already had their parvo vaccinations, their rabies vaccinations, there's very little chance of spreading those things to animals who've been vaccinated. So yes, the donkeys are eat up with worms. You can see it in so many different ways. I'm not going to get into all the specifics, but many of you guys who know farm life know exactly what I'm talking about and how you can tell. So I guess I'll just go with what Eva here says. She says, you're not going to please everybody. You only have to please yourself and the God that you serve. And I would agree with that. That is ultimately who I work for. And we do love animals, but guys, through the course of the 7 years that you've known us, we have not been able to keep every animal we bring in. Some animals work out and we can find this harmony, this peace and this harmony with the ones that work together so well. And then other times we've had to make a couple of moves and adjustments to try to find every animal its best life. So this will be no exception. If we do end up officially acquiring these donkeys, then we will have to do what gives them their very best life. And so I joke sometimes, but it's not really a joke about the reference to the Walt Disney production. But we're not a Walt Disney production, y'all. And whereas Walt Disney, even though he was a nasty little freak, everyone knows he was a nasty little man. Even though we are not a Walt Disney production as far as happy endings and animals and doing all this, just the happiness and the joy, we do our best in trying to do what's right for the animals, because that is in fact who we are and what has made us a place given us a small window on this internet to have met so many wonderful other animal lovers. And even as I speak, I can see all the negative and the nasty faces flying by because I'm not saying what you want to hear said. Or maybe you're just mad at Walt Disney. I don't know. But the nasty faces are flying by, and it is what it is. I don't even care right now. I don't even care. So I will go ahead and squash I would say probably the number one suggestion over here is offer them to Jake, offer them to Jake, offer them to Jake, offer them to Jake. Guys, you need to stop. If you have not already seen the riffraff they are causing on our property with our fences, they would go through Jake's fences like melted butter. They would go through Jake's fences like melted butter. They would end up getting with Uncle Dan's little mini horse and my mom and dad's mini horse and Jake's little mini donkey. And you don't know what they would do to goats and how they're, guys, you just don't know. You just don't know. And I'm so sorry to make it sound like you don't know, but this is one area where there might be some folks who know a little bit more than you do about this particular situation. So what they would have to be is they would have to be fenced in, a corral area big enough for them to have a chance to graze, or at least dry lot with goat wiring. So like I said, just give us some time and let us figure this out, and don't demand so many answers. Especially do not demand that we do exactly what you say. I'm not saying that I have not seen some great ideas, and there are wonderful ideas, and we do in fact guide a whole lot of our videos and our content based on suggestions from you all. But it can also be overwhelming whenever you don't present stuff to us in a tactful and polite way, but instead you insist. I saw a lady yesterday screaming and hollering in the comments that she's reached out to me multiple times and I will not reply to her. I know the reason why I will not reply to her, because she lives in another state and I'm not going to have these donkeys transported in a trailer to another state. And anywho. Even as I speak, there's more comments popping up of what I should do. I'm going to read a letter to you that came from a fella in prison. I'm going to paraphrase around this. He talks about some of the difficulties in prison, especially if you do not have a support system outside of prison, as far as anyone that can send you a few dollars on occasion. He said, for everybody who assumes the state takes such good care of your prisoners, he said it's true that most people in there have made mistakes that are worthy of having to serve jail time, or in his case, prison time. He said, life here, unlike it's shown on TV, is not comfortable. He says there's so many things that make life very difficult. He says it could be everything from the soap you're forced to use to baking soda that you're the only thing you're allowed to use for toothpaste, no real deodorant. He said, but when you get a couple of dollars every once in a while, it allows you to buy things like an actual Dr. Pepper. You can afford a Snicker, but they only allow you to go to the store once every 2 weeks. You can even rent a movie on an old tablet that they have in their library, but they charge you for that. He said, but what he wants me to know is that whenever he does get a chance to use the computer, they're not allowed to comment. They have blocks and things on their computer, so they cannot contact people, I don't guess. But he said that what gives him hope, this is going to make me a little bit emotional, and I'm going to tell you right now, is that he finds hope in watching the videos. He says he's lived his entire life a farm life, and he says he misses it more than anything else in the world now. He's talked about so many things. I'm going to find one particular quote and read to you. Let me look through here a little bit. He says he prays that everybody on the page will learn to take care of each other. He hopes we all have a safe, cool summer. Here it goes. He says, you know, Lester, he goes, prison is meant to break everyone. It'll break the good. It'll break you if you're bad. It'll break you no matter how brave, no matter how crazy. The ones that it don't break, it will kill. He said, so what I've learned to do is live here with hope. He goes, and hope is like a game of baseball. You have hope to one day get home safe. You get the baseball analogy. What I've also learned, this is gonna be tough for me to read. I'm telling you right now. He goes, what I've also learned in here is that a human can live 3 weeks without food. You can live 3 days without water. You can live 3 minutes without fresh air. But you'll never make it even 3 seconds if you ever begin to lose your hope. Hope is bigger and hope is stronger than fear. And hope is effective. That was so a lot of people are going to naturally begin to write off anything that comes out of the walls of a prison, and you're going to naturally assume that, well, he deserves what he got. Whatever he's doing, he deserves it. But I think that most of us would agree that we've all probably done things we could be accused of and serve time for. Most of us have never been caught. Most of us have never been caught. But I think that this was the first letter that I've gotten out of a prison. I've received letters from older folks. I've received letters from sick folks, those who are not doing well. I've received letters from folks going through mental depression and anxiety and things. But this would be the first letter that I've ever gotten out of the walls of a prison. And it makes me feel honored to know that this fella, whenever he has enough money in his account to pay for a little computer time, and he's able to YouTube, what he likes to do is go watch one of the Longhorn Lester videos. And he says that what he gets out of the videos is hope more than anything else. And that makes me feel extremely blessed to know that there's people that look to the videos to do more than argue and fight. But there's also those that are here for a little peace and a little quiet and a little relaxation and the serenity that goes along with a video, maybe a laughter here and there or a tear possibly, but also hope. You can find hope. And in saying so, we're going to find something to do with these donkeys, friends. You're going to have to stop being so harsh and so mean. But we will absolutely look at all of our options and we will do what we have to do. But like I said, today I have a bigger mission. I will try to get over to the JL and take care of this before 3 o'clock so I can upload this video at 3. If I can't get it uploaded by 3, then I promise you I will upload it by 6 on YouTube. And then I'll play it tomorrow morning, first thing on Facebook. But remember, if you don't like what has to be done today, I am Daniel Arms at the Arms Family Homestead. let's not forget where to direct all of your anger and all of your frustrations and all of your hate. Loud and proud. There you have it. Am I mean for doing that, y'all? I just want to ask you, am I mean for doing that? Am I mean for doing that? So there's a lot of bye Felicias. I'm not sure what's going on. I've kind of, whenever I was reading the letter, I stopped reading comments. Uh, Thank you. Everyone says, hi, Daniel. Yes, Daniel Arms here, folks. Daniel Arms here. I'm with the Arms Family Homestead. And I only wear this shirt when I'm about to do something to get myself in trouble. Everyone knows that. Oh, my goodness. I love Daniel. We don't talk as much as we used to. Life has gotten busy. I still talk to Jason on a very regular basis, talk to Dutch on an occasion, a week or so at a time. And then I've been chit chatting with Ryan quite a bit. But Daniel and his family are very busy. They stay busy. Thank you, Georgia, for sending your love to the Arms family. Yeah, I will talk a little bit about this. It is true, and I've talked until I was blue in the face, as the expression goes, about the sanctuary there in Plum Grove, and the amount of negativity and hate. It's just downright hate. It's just downright hate that, unfortunately, both Ellie, my son, and Megan have to deal with on a day, every day. I don't know how they do it. I love them both to death, and I just wish people had a chance. I'm going to say this, and this is not going to come out right, but I want to now. As always, there's going to be many of you who are going to deny the truth. You're going to deny the fact of what kind of things you were doing during your early adult years. You may have been 18, 19, 20, but it's very unlikely that you were living the kind of life that you've learned to live as you got older and wiser. I always say that if you all would have known me during my 20s, you would not have liked me very much at all. I am not the same man here in my early 50s as I was in my early 20s. And I don't know, does it really matter exactly why you would not like me? Just know that I was not a good man. I was hitting the bars every chance I could, using every dollar I could find or gather to buy drinks or to buy whatever. I was running the roads to all hours of the night. I was going against my parents' wishes. I was disrespectful. I had turned my back completely on my church and anything spiritual. I was doing whatever I wanted to do. I was probably guilty of every sin that the Bible preaches about. And over time, different things happen and they mature you and they grow you up and they change you and they shape you. And we're so blessed that we have a gracious God and gracious people in our lives who continue to love you even when you don't always love yourself. Because what I realized later is I did not love myself very much to do some of the things that I did. I didn't show love to people I hurt. I didn't show love to my parents who loved me despite all of the hell that I put them through. And I didn't love there was not much to love about myself. And so now as I watch Ellie and Megan, who are at a young age, who are trying to find themselves on a path of goodness, and I've said so many times before that the things that I was doing at Ellie's age, I could not be prouder of a young man who's never disrespected his mom or his dad, and he has never said a profane word. He's never used the Lord's name in vain. He loves Jesus with all of his heart, and he loves you. And he's so meek as to continue to turn the other cheek day after day after day. And I don't even know how he's able to continue to put out a video knowing that people are going to come out of the woodwork just to tear him apart for anything he tries to do. And then it makes us wonder, where would we be if we lived in the times of social media and people tore us apart the way that they tear Ellie and Megan apart? Unfortunately, even though there are some of y'all, even right now, saying how hard you worked and how great you were, and here's one person, I owned 3 businesses when I was that age. Well, you are probably also living in a Walt Disney World, okay? You're probably living in a Walt Disney World, because I don't believe you. But I know Ellie and Megan's heart, and they're in the right place. They're trying to learn their way around, and instead of being constructive and supportive, there are so many people who just look to hate. Hate. Such a nasty word, a word that we shouldn't even use in our vocabulary anymore. Yet it's very obvious when you go into one of the videos how much despise and anger you have. And here's why. Because you want Ellie, you want Megan to do exactly what other people do. I agree. I would let those with no sins cast the first stone. But some people are so blinded that they don't even realize that they are full of sin. It's like yesterday when I gave the goats the chocolate. I went out to give the pig some chocolate, donuts. Not all of them were chocolate, just donuts. And my God, if the chocolate people didn't come out in full force, screaming and hollering about the dangers of chocolate. And then I kind of jokingly, but kind of not jokingly, made a comment about it. I'm just going to skip that. It got people mad at me. Oh, Lordy. I'm going to get off the live now and head over to the JL and take care of business. Like I said, many of y'all will see the video this afternoon, and you're going to not like it, but it's going to happen. And if you want to get mad about it, don't forget who to send your emails to. Don't clog my emails with stuff. Instead, Arms Family Homestead. Daniel will appreciate the fanfare. Oh, goodness gracious. I agree with that. Lady says, I'm 59 and I'm still learning to grow up every single day. Trust me, I'm the same way, y'all. I make mistakes every single day, and I am still learning. Still make a lot of mistakes, y'all. I'm going to lose my signal here. I just got a phone call. Even though my phone's on Do Not Disturb, I'm going to lose my signal here because someone's calling me so many times. It's going to push right through it. So let me go ahead and let you guys go now. We love you so very much. Big video coming out today. Like I said, I'm going to try to have it by 3 o'clock. That's going to be pushing it though. So if I can't have it out by 3, it'll be out by 6. That will be for YouTube. And then it'll play on Facebook first thing tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Thank you all for loving us. Thank you for putting up with us. Thank you for those who are able to show grace and kindness still in a world that has forgotten how it feels to be on that side of it. And then, once again, for those folks in Florida who are struggling so much with the rain, and those folks in other parts of the country that are going through such severe heat waves, I hope that you have a place to cool off. In Florida, a place to stay dry, higher ground if you need to. And we're blessed to have you. Thank you all for watching the Lunch with Longhorn Lester live. And like I said, there's more to come today. I love you. Thank you all for watching.